The Ad Hoc Joint Committee on Floods is conducting an oversight visit in KwaZulu-Natal following the recent floods in the province. SABC News reporter Vusi Khumalo is there covering the story for us. Vusi, we see the oversight visit has already began. Talk us through it.
Yes, indeed, the Oversight Committee is here. This is an Oversight Committee. It's an Ad Hoc Joint Committee on flood disaster relief and recovery that is descended on KwaZulu-Natal to ensure that the work that's being done is also being monitored. And they're here to evaluate on progress made so far insofar as the reconstruction and rebuilding is concerned. We are now at KwaDukuza, as you may have seen earlier, the broken infrastructure, including roads and bridges that have collapsed. Let's see if we can talk to some of the members of the Ad Hoc Joint Committee. We can see there are some people or members of the opposition parties from the DA, from the EFF, and also here as well. Let me see if I can talk to Mr. Dean McPherson from the DA. Let me welcome you, sir. What have you seen so far as you are with this committee?
Well, thanks very much, and thanks for having me. We're going around the province. We started in Ashawi yesterday. I've seen a lot of the damage myself, being a resident of the province, but I think it's good and it's important for the Ad Hoc Committee to see it for themselves, but most importantly to have engagement with officials and politicians and leaders of different spheres of government to actually start quizzing them on what they've done, what their response has been to date, and whether in fact that is satisfactory or not. This morning we managed to have an opportunity with the Premier. I think that was a fruitful engagement. We expressed our displeasure that the MEC for Cooperative in the province has been completely absent during this crisis. Again today he wasn't available, and that's just simply not good enough. And as an Ad Hoc Committee we need to get to grips with the realities on the ground, but also we need to be critical about where is the money that the President promised. The 1 billion rand still hasn't materialized. The Premier was very clear in that. And so we've got a lot of questions that we've got to start putting to government and pressurizing them to make money available so we can build with, we can start with the rebuild. Because we're heading into 2 months after the disaster and people are still living in shelters. That's just simply not good enough for us at this present time.
Are you satisfied with the work done so far, especially regards to the government and also some municipalities, because you understand there are some challenges and also there's a lack of capacity that's been ventilated during one of the sessions there?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult to actually ascertain what work has been done. I mean, obviously there's been recovery and rescue. There's some form of cleanup that's going on, but as the Mayor of KwaDukuza indicated to us today, much of that is being done with existing budgets, and there's pressures on budgets. So a lot of work can't take place unless funds are released by national government. So I think that there's a long way to go, and these visits are helpful in that they allow us to have those engagements and start to have a look at the extent of work that still needs to take place.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's Mr. Dean McPherson representing the DA, one of the members of the Ad Hoc Committee. Now we are being joined by the Mayor of KwaDukuza, Ms. Lindy Nyaka, also going to tell us about the progress made so far as the reconstruction, because we can also see we are standing on a collapsed bridge. We are told that more than 1 billion rand is needed in order to fix and repair the roads that have been eroded and also destroyed bridges. If you can stand this side. No, this side, ma'am.
This side?
Yes, and look at me, please.
Okay, yes, it's true. More than 1 billion rand is needed. As you can see, a number of roads and bridges were washed away by the floods. And then again, the heavy rains last week also made another contribution. So I think we're going to need even more than what we have said in our reports.
There's also a lack of capacity that's been bemoaned by most of the members of the Ad Hoc Joint Committee. What can you say about that? Do you as the municipality lack a capacity, and what sort of assistance that you need in order to address the challenges that and also perhaps if you can give us an update as to if you still have people housed in community halls and all the roads that have also collapsed?
Yes, in fact we rely on the financial assistance from the provincial government Yes, there are families which are still housed in different centers. Like here in KwaDukuza, we have 10 centers. But again, the construction of the TRUs has started. So far, only TRUs have been completed, but there are 10 slabs that are ready for the construction of the TRUs. And then there's land which is available for the construction of about 70 TRUs, as we've been given an allocation of 150 as a KwaDukuza municipality. But there is progress. But again, we're also getting reports that there are people who are stopping the construction of the TRUs. They are saying they don't want those TRUs to be built next to their homes. But I'll be getting a recent report on Monday, because what I'm reporting now is just a verbal report that I received yesterday.
And also a time frame on some of the broken bridges and roads, as well as those bridges near the schools, of which we are told some of the schools are not able, school kids are not able to access those schools due to the broken infrastructure.
I think we'll start moving as from the 1st of June. I think you'll be seeing the difference when comparing to what is happening or to what you are seeing just now. So there is a progress which is made. Our civil engineering business unit is trying its best to ensure that the number of roads as well as the bridges are fixed.
Thanks a lot, for time.
Okay.
There's the mayor, local municipality mayor of KwaDukuza, Ms. Lindy Nyaka, talking about TRUs being the temporary structures being made by government. That's a temporary residential units being used to house people who have been affected by the floods in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, especially here at KwaDukuza, which had more than 30 people who have lost their lives as a result of the storms in the province.